Today's video is going to be talking about the Seaman class weapons. The Seaman has 8 weapons in total. For the melee, it has the boarding axe and the hand axe. The other 3 you already know by this point. For projectiles, it has the navy pistol, the blunderbuss, and the knock gun. The navy pistol. The navy pistol is a unique weapon for the Seaman class, costing 600 franc. Upon purchasing, you gain access to the short range crowd control beauty, dealing 35 damage per pellet, a base reload of 6.2 seconds, has a staggering 10 pellets, meaning if all your shots landed correctly, you're dealing 350 damage per shot, has a really low penetration of only 1 with a max distance of 250. Something about the navy pistol that makes it unique is the pistol whip ability, allowing you to temporarily stun 1 zombie. Not the most exciting thing in the world, but it gets the job done. And finally, you have a slight debuff of the weapon known as knockback, which, well, knocks you back a bit. That's it. The Blunderbus. The Blunderbus is the free weapon that comes with the Seaman. Upon equipping this weapon, you'll gain access to 30 damage a pellet, a 10.66 reload time, 15 pellets, which in this case deals 450 damage per shot. Comes with a pretty good 3 penetration with a max distance of 350. Honestly, Blunderbus is heavily underrated. It's quite surprising that a lot of players nowadays prefer to use the knock gun or navy pistol as opposed to this beauty, but we'll get to the comparisons later on. The knock gun. The knock gun is by far the deadliest but the slowest gun in the game, costing 300 francs. Upon purchasing this weapon, you'll gain access to 250 damage a pellet, a whopping 26-second reload time. That's for a full reload, by the way. A huge barrel for a huge pellet count being 7. And might I add that 7 times 250 is 1,750 damage. A menacing 10 penetration with a max distance of 650. By far, this weapon is astonishingly good for any crowd control, but make sure you bring a good melee for backup, or make sure you cancel your reloading time. Comparisons. Now, comparing all 3 of the guns, they are all good for crowd control, that's without a doubt. The navy pistol and the blunderbuss are both very similar in terms of damage wise, however reload is a little different. Either way, both the navy pistol and the blunderbuss are heavily good for the Seaman. The knock gun on the other hand, how it isn't the best at reload, it has insane damage output. I've worked out that 7 divided by 26 is 3.7 seconds per reload, like barrel reload. Now, I don't know if this is fully correct, because you've got to take into account the time it takes for the player to cock the gun as well, but 3.7 seconds per barrel was what I found. In terms of price, the only reason why I find the navy pistol more expensive than the knock gun is primarily the pistol whip. It honestly is an underrated feature that if you manage to master can become the best weapon in the game in my opinion. However, to summarize, all 3 weapons are pretty unique in their own sense and is all unique in their own way. The boarding axe. Now, I did mention earlier that the Seaman is the only class unique to this weapon, being the boarding axe. Costing a whopping 750 francs, this weapon is devastating for up close and personal attacks. Being able to flip the axe for different attacks, you can deal 35 for crowd control swing, or you can flip the axe around and deal 52 damage for individual attacks. A pretty unique feature. Having a 0.4 second swing rate with 3 penetration for crowd control and 1 for individual, by combining it with the headshot multiplier, 2.3 for crowd, 2.8 for individual, it's the ideal weapon for any situation. The hand axe. The hand axe being next on the list, being available for not just the Seaman but also for the infantry class. It's more of a hatchet than an axe, but who am I to judge? Upon purchasing this weapon for a cheap 250 francs, you'll be able to deal 45 damage a hit, having alternate swing rates for which way you decide to swing, a decent 3 penetration, a max distance of 4. Not only this, but as mentioned in the stats description, it states that it's worse against the zapper. However, looking at the wiki, it says that the 54.5% damage reduction was removed, so yeah, I don't know. Melee comparison. So both weapons are really good in a sense. I won't be comparing these weapons to the saber, however, as I feel it's unnecessary at the time. However, between the 2 melees, there's not much difference. They both have good base damage, swing rates, etc. However, I feel like the boarding axe is a little better due to its ability to focus on an individual or crowd of zombies. Now, do I think it's worth the 750 franc price tag? Yeah, I honestly do. The feature proves a point, and the ability to choose between what you want to do, so a higher price tag, but the ability to choose between what damage output you want to give, it's a pretty unique on its own way. However, for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.